Hi guys, welcome to 5 Minute Friday. Today we're going to be talking about this Kranzle K1322, or just pressure washers in general. The K1322 I feel is the ultimate single pressure washer for your garage. The reason that I feel that way is because it's completely rebuildable, completely repairable. There is parts availability, there are guides on maintenance. It is a maintainable unit. It's the equivalent of buying a Honda generator versus one from Harbor Freight. It is a well-designed machine that with proper maintenance should last a lifetime. So what does this cost? It's about $1,100, and it is just about the maximum output that you can get from a 20 amp standard 120 volts United States outlet. Anything beyond this is generally going to require 240 or multiple outlets, or something along those lines. So this is approaching the limits of the amount of power that you can draw from a 20 amp circuit. I started off with a Portland pressure washer from Harbor Freight. I went from that to a Greenworks, and then I went from the Greenworks to this. The Portland lasted me less than a year. The Greenworks lasted me about a year. And then I ended up replacing with the Kranzle. So what I really like about the Kranzle is the fact that when you pull the trigger, the water comes on instantaneously. It doesn't take a second to build pressure. It doesn't sound annoying, which seems kind of trivial. I have it mounted on this wall. The backside of this is my dining room. It is not incredibly annoying in the other room. If you're ever washing inside your garage instead of outside of your garage, you can actually stand to be in the same room as it. It runs generally pretty quiet. I've had it for 2.5 years. As far as maintenance is concerned, I've done one oil change, and that is it. At this point, the oil looks clean. It still has a reasonable capacity, and I did that oil change after about 1.5 years. Minimal maintenance. I did shorten the cord on it, which you can choose to do. I did a video on that as well. Fairly simple to do. I ordered this from Obsessed Garage. The 1322 is an Obsessed Garage exclusive product. There is also a 1622. The difference between the 1322 and the 1622 is really that the 1322 has more output but requires a 20 amp circuit. The 1622 can go on a dedicated 15 amp, but really if you have anything else that's on that circuit, it'll pop the breaker. And I used to even see that with my Greenworks. If my compressor or the vacuum or something else happened to kick on when the pressure washer kicked on, it would pop the breaker until I had a dedicated outlet for it. I think the Kranzle looks fantastic when mounted to a shelf. I realize that there are other options out there. So in my opinion, if you are looking for an inexpensive pressure washer, there is no better option than the Kranzle Cube. Again, I'll put a link to that in the description. I actually built a inexpensive pressure washer setup, and I'll put an Amazon store link to that. The Kranzle Cube works very well. It's a $300-ish pressure washer. It has a 3-year warranty. If the thing fails, you throw it in the trash, they send you a new one. Reliable, not very annoying, works fairly well. It is not a serviceable or rebuildable unit. When you go past that, you get into something like an Active. The Active 2.0, a lot of people had issues with them. The new Active is $600, and you're approaching the territory of a Comet, which is right around the same money, an AR, like an AR630 TSS, which is again around the same money, or a Kranzle, which is slightly more money. Now, technically the AR is probably going to have more output, but I generally like the performance and the quietness of the Kranzle over the AR. I think it looks better mounted on a shelf. I think in general it is a more industrial design, and from what I've seen in maintenance and parts availability, these tend to be more reliable and they tend to require less maintenance overall. And I invite you to share your experience down below in the comments, because obviously I have lived with this. I have not lived with an AR630. My dad does have a Kranzle. I have used it multiple times. I actually bought it for him, and I think it's a great unit and it works very well for what he does. And that's the kind of thing, like if you're looking for something that is inexpensive, that is going to get you by and be a reasonable unit, I think the Kranzle setup is really good. You can put it on a shelf. You can get a reel like this. You can have a nice hose. You can use the short guns. All of that stuff works very, very well. If you're looking for something that you're going to buy once and keep for a long time, I think the Kranzle is the option. It is the one to buy. Put it on a stainless shelf, bolt it down. You'll very rarely ever have to maintain it. I've taken it off of this shelf one time since I installed it, and that was to do an oil change. It works incredibly well every single day. I simply walk in here, I flip the switch, it powers on, everything works, I roll it up, and I'm done. And I have never one time worried about whether or not it would start. Like I said, it is the Honda generator of pressure washers. It is German, it is reliable, it is rebuildable, there are parts. Obviously, it works well with the MTM hose reel here, which I've done a previous video on. Go check that out. I would recommend that if you are buying this to pick up a bottle of Kranzle gear oil, you'll need it for your first oil change. I bought a 1 liter bottle that is good for 4 oil changes, and I will probably have it for years. I did my first oil change after 1 year, year and a half, something like that. And I will do my next oil change when it looks bad. And at this point, it looks fantastic, and it's been another year since I've done it. That's all for today. I thank you for watching. I invite you to share your opinions and your experience down below, and let's have a conversation about that. Let's be respectful. And thank you for stopping by. Have a great day.